her dachshund, and I'm going to be grooming his head for you guys. So we need a few things. We need a small pair of scissors to cut the whiskers. I'm using rubber finger cuts and a fine knife. This is from Flamia & Jabs. Medium knife, also from Flamia & Jabs. And I'm going to be using a stone, also from Flamia & Jabs, which are on Amazon if you'd like to try and find them. Okay, so we will start with the ears. So dachshunds should have very, very, very short ears. This is actually the shortest part of the groom on the entire dog. So what I generally do is just get the bulk off first. Just kind of pull all the craziness. Then what I'll do is I'll roll the ear over my finger and go through and pull off anything that sticks off. You can use a grooming knife or a stripping knife for this, but it is a little easier to accidentally pinch the ear with the knife. So I would suggest a a stripping stone over a stripping knife on ears. So then once we have our ear all clean like that, we can do the outside. So to do the outside of the ears, I take the ear kind of in my hand and I just pinch off the hair that sticks off the end. Good boy. You're being a very good boy. We do not scissor the ears on dachshunds. They should be stripped. You can clip out the inside, especially right near the base if you'd like, on pets. But most dogs, like he's a pet, this guy here, good boy, most dogs are generally pretty okay with you pulling that stuff off the inside. Kind of depends on the dog, I suppose. The more stripping you can do, the better, though. Okay, so now once I kind of get to the inside of the ear here, I just switch to just my fingers, pull all this off. Make sure when you're stripping the inside of the ears that you're pulling the coat out the direction that it grew out of the skin. So if you see here, see how the coat, the ear hair is coming out this way? So we're going to pull the hair out this way. No, this does not hurt. If it hurt, they wouldn't let us do it. Yes, I know. They would not let us do it. This hair here, I find just under the ear here. Inside the ear is generally okay, but under the ear I do find some dogs get super sensitive, so you can pull it nice and tight. Yeah, I know. For him, because he's not liking that, I will scissor just right this portion here. Like I said, he is a pet, so that's okay. If you had a show dog that was this sensitive right here, then what you'd want to do is really, really slowly and carefully just pull just a couple hairs at a time. But for him, we'll just go ahead and scissor that out later. Now, when I start stripping my heads, after I finish the ears, the first thing I do is go and try and find the whiskers. Sometimes it's a bit of a treasure hunt, but there are two sets of whiskers that you're going to cut out. There's one kind of about here and one kind of about here. And the reason we chop those out rather than pulling them is because they are fairly large whiskers and they can cause a little bit of bleeding. So there's one. Got that one. Good. Yeah, good boy. He said, "Are you done?" Good boy. And the other one, sometimes they do definitely take some searching. There's the other one right there. You can see that big black whisker sticking out, so I'll want to just cut that. And I cut them nice and close to the skin. Okay, so for the head, a lot of people leave way too much on these guys' heads. It is a little bit personal preference how much beard you want, and it does kind of depend on the dog's head too. So if they have a super short muzzle, you want to pull a little bit more beard off because it gives the illusion of more coat, more muzzle. But this guy has a very nice head, so we'll just do kind of a classic head on him. Okay, so when I start my heads, I generally start right between the eyes, and I start just pulling this center stuff. All this stop hair, this can all come off. So we have a nice clean, yes I know, yes I know, yes I know. So we have a nice clean stop. Then I'm gonna start tracing out my eyebrow. So I will just kind of hold his head for a second here. So our eyebrows, I do about 1 finger's width, kind of depends on the dog. But if you have a wild boar like this color here, you can use the color to kind of show you. If not, if you have a red or a chocolate or something like that, that's kind of one color, what you can do is use the eye socket. So where you can kind of feel the eye socket, that's where you want your eyebrow. So like this, okay? So stop, buddy. I know you're being a good boy. So I'm gonna pull all this, stop, all the center stuff off. And what I'm going to do is just go straight back. Now he is likely going to pull quite bald on his head because it has been a while since I've groomed him. And he has no layers of coat underneath, so that's okay. That is one of the things about hand stripping. If there's nothing underneath, it's going to be bald for a little bit, but it grows back. Okay, stop. Good boy. Good boy. I know you're being a good dog. Yes, I know. Okay. So this is progress we have. Don't be scared of balding your dogs. It is okay. And now what I'm going to do is trace that outline of the eyebrow that I want. Okay, now that we have that traced, we now want to go to this corner of the eye here, this outer corner. Nothing should stick off past that. This is the short part of our line here. So all this can come off. Yes, you can see it's pulling a little bit bald there. Like I said, that's because he's got no coat underneath. That's okay. So this is our kind of our eyebrow, and then we'll just pull all this off with the rest of the head. And I will shape that brow in a second for you guys. So pull all that off. Level with the ear. This all comes off. Back of the skull, nice and short. Good boy. Yes, you're being a very good dog. Okay. So now that we kind of have this area clear, I will show you how I shape my brows. Shape, not shave. Okay. Stop. Now, this is a little tougher when your dog only has 1 layer of coat, but what I do is I generally don't want anything longer than the center part of my eyeball. So if I look at my dog, the center part of the eyeball, I don't want anything longer than this. So all this can come off. And then this long bit here, I'm just going to pull the very tips. So now we do still have an eyebrow left. It's just not as ginormous and spidery. And then I'll just kind of pull anything that's sticking off and looks a little too spidery. So you don't want to pull the brows all the way off, but you also don't want to leave big Scotty or Schnauzer brows. These are not terriers. They're not terriers. They do have a different style of face. Now, this is the line that changes depending on your dog. This dog has a very nice head. He's about 1-to-1. That's what we want. So we are going to pull from kind of about the middle of the corner of the eye here, kind of depending, all the way down to the corner of the mouth here. So That includes all this bridge of the nose hair. This all comes off. And then we're just going to start pulling. And this tends to be the scary part for a lot of people, but don't worry. And the nice thing is about wire-haired dachshunds is all this grows back with a vengeance. You can't really muck it up. Good boy, yeah, good dog. Now if you have a dog that's like super wiggly when you're holding their head, you don't want to hold on to the bridge of their nose. You don't want to hold their mouth shut. So what I'll generally do is take my offhand and kind of hold their beard, and I'll use my index finger to kind of tickle underneath their chin so I know they're being good. But I also do want to keep a grip here. Okay. Now you can do this with a knife. I'm just doing it with my finger to show you that you can. You don't need tools if you don't want them. And yes, again, we are pulling very bald. Why is that? Repeat after me, because there's no hair underneath. That's okay. Oh, good boy. It will all grow back. Now, if you had a dog that was very short on muzzle, you can bring the line of the mustache and beard forward. And like I said, that will give the illusion of more coat, more muzzle than is actually there. Good boy. So that's what we're looking at now. Oh, can we see? Yes, we can see. Good. Yes, good boy. Stop. Okay. Now, these owners did request more beard than usual, because I normally take his beard nice and short, because I like it like that. However, per their request, we will leave a longer beard. If you are showing or competing with these dogs, I tend to not leave a super long beard. Because like I said, they're not schnauzers, and I do find it kind of distracts from the dog. A lot of people, especially on the boars, will leave all this black hair underneath the eye. Like right here, especially, they'll leave all that. Blend it in. So pull it up and pull it down. I know that doesn't make any sense, but by watching that part again, you should be able to see. So pull it up and then pull it down. Hey, stop. Good boy. So we're not pulling totally bald from the inner corner of the eye, but about the center of the eye. And then underneath, which I will do in just a second here, underneath the beard, there is a trio of whiskers, and that is what we use as our mark for underneath the beard. Oh my goodness, your beard is so tangly. Okay. Yes, I know. Good boy. Okay. Can you scooch over so people can see? Thank you. Okay, so we have to kind of look and find our trio of whiskers. You have a very dirty beard, my guy. There. And we'll go ahead and trim those nice and flush. And now everything behind that, yeah, I know. Everything behind that comes off. Good boy. Good boy. So we're starting to get our shape in. I know, this is a good dog. This is a good dog. Do you want a second break? Do you want a second to just kind of be silly? Okay. Big dog. All right. Okay. Stop. Good boy. Okay. So we have too much beard here. This bit, that's too much. That needs to go. So, I know. Good boy. So we'll go ahead and just pull all this. Now, you do want to take A medium knife. Be careful because there are whiskers here and you don't want to pull all the whiskers out, but you do want to blend down into the beard. Hey, good dog. There are whiskers right in this corner of the mouth here in the flue, and so just careful when you're pulling that. Yeah, you're being a good boy. So that all comes off. Okay, so you can see we got our corner of the mouth there. Yeah, choose. Make sure we get all that crap off here. You can see we have our trio of whiskers here, so we'll just trim that one that I missed. But yeah, you can see we do have a little bit of bare skin here. That's totally okay. That's totally fine. If your eyelashes on your dog are too long, you can scissor them off. I don't personally pull eyelashes, but I also don't like mega long eyelashes hanging off the dog, so I do trim these. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but we've got this bit here that's just kind of hanging off. So we can go ahead and pull that down and blend it with our beard. And we don't want to be able to see too much of the mouth, just the very tip of the corner. Some countries do not like the mouth exposed at all. Canada and the USA, especially the competitive breed rings, I do see that mouth corner shown. So entirely personal preference, up to you. Now the neck all goes bald. This whole front, the entire front of the dog, whole chest, everything, this all goes naked. Some people leave a bit of a crest to accentuate the dog. I don't, unless I'm showing something that really likes to pull their chest in. But no, generally for pet dogs you want to pull all this off. Feet and legs, I'll do another video because that's just going to be too much, I think. But here we go. Let's see. There we go. So now all this would come off, obviously. I will scissor that off for him, this bit here anyways, just because he was a little bit more sensitive. But if we if we pull all that up to the side, and we have our nice beard here. Yes. We do pull the beard in this breed. You do not scissor it. It does not hurt to pull the beard. Okay. Now the beards, generally, for this dog, I would probably pull it to about here. However, because they asked for a little bit more, I am going to leave this a little bit more so it looks just a little bit cuter. But if you look from the side, that is what the head should look like. Nice beard coming forward here, nice and smooth. Head, eyebrow, no crazy stringy eyebrows, no Scotty brows, nothing like that. Just nice, clean corner of the eyes. Pull all this off. Bridge of the nose, all this comes off. So hopefully that helps people. And I'm going to give this guy a break. I'm going to work on his tummy now. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them. Please join us at Grooming the Wire-Haired Dachshund on Facebook. We have I think almost 6,000 members in our group now. Lots of helpful people. Not just me. So more than welcome to check that out. And hopefully we see you there. Thanks, everyone.